This is Pixel Papas, two sleep-deprived gamer dads hosting a podcast about mobile games marketing and AI, tackling UA challenges and diaper changes. Welcome and enjoy the show.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Pixel Papas. And for this episode, we have a very special guest. We are happy to have him here. I'll give only a small introduction because the guy will be introduced by his work later on during the podcast. He's a creative marketing lead for Nexters. I think that says all. Probably everybody in mobile marketing should know the Hero Wars. So please welcome Rau Dosymbetov. Hello.
Hi guys. Thank you for having me. So I'm ready to share some expertise.
Awesome. Let's dive right into it. So, do you play any games? Are you a gamer?
I am actually a gamer, but mostly I play like mobile games, especially for the past couple years, because, you have to search for the new trends, especially if you see a lot of ads of our competitors. You have to know what the game actually is to know it better, like, for example, Archero 2, like new releases, like AFK Journey, Capybara Go, and so on. But
so
I do
inspiration.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I do play PC games as well.
What kind of games? I'm a PC gamer.
Yeah. I stick to the old classics, Skyrim, Witcher 3.
Nice. Strong ones. Cool. And what is the favorite game of all time?
It should be an old classic as well. I would say Heroes of Might and Magic. Yeah, like hardcore.
So that's a big one. So you are a pretty strong gamer, but you turned to mobile more because of like professional transformation, I guess.
Yeah, professional. And also, PC games and console games, they usually demand a lot of time, and as for mobile games, it's easier to manage your time. You can play for 20 minutes, like during your lunch break, and that's it.
Yeah. So we are not 15 anymore. You come home from work, you throw the bag, and then you play for 8 hours. It's like easy, good times, the nostalgia, right? So yeah, thanks. Let's go into like this professional stuff. So you are a creative lead, right? So regarding the creatives, so what makes a creative a great one in your opinion?
The creative itself, I think the main thing is that the creative should resonate with their core audience, and that's like the main idea when we create our videos and statics. Yeah, for sure, that's the main thing.
What are the things maybe you are focusing on when creating idea? So we've seen many Hero Wars ads. So how you are constructing it? Like, are you focusing, okay, this is going to be in the intro, this is the middle part, this is middle part 2, this is end, to hook the players for the whole video? Or what is your process behind it?
That's actually a great question. For sure, we decompose our creatives into different parts and we create them separately and test them separately. For example, in terms of the gameplay, we mainly focus on the gameplay, of course, because we have to show something for our players so they have some idea of what to expect in the game, in the store and in the game. So we test a lot of different gameplays that can resonate with our audience. And after we find one, we can test different approaches, make a lot of hooks, intros, endings, stories, backshots, different lengths, and so on.
How big is the team?
Our team is, you mean the whole marketing team or just the creative?
Creative.
Yeah, the creative team, it consists of our screenwriters, the people who make the ideation, the base, the fundamentals of our creatives, and the production team. So ideation team isn't that big. I would say it's around 10 people. And production
It's pretty big, to be honest.
Sorry, man, like not that big, like 10 million.
Is it? I'm not actually aware of how it should be.
Usually like 1-2 guys and that's it.
In my mind, it was like 10, like just the number 10 isn't that big,
Cool.
For
Okay,
ID
continue. I
issue,
want to see
yeah.
the different
Okay,
numbers.
yeah,
What is
go on.
actually big for you? Please continue.
Yeah. And we have a lot of artists and videographers, that's around 30 people.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's crazy,
So
man.
it's-
But like, it's understandable. Like, it's understandable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Compared to the independent indie companies, we are pretty big. We have a lot of people out here
You're
working.
saying these numbers now. I understand when I made research on how many creatives did you create or run in past 90 days. It was something around 2,500. So yeah, these numbers
Wow.
of people working on that. Now I understand.
Yeah, and
So
we
you're
create around that amount. I would say it's like 100 creatives a month, I would say.
and what is your how they differ? So maybe because are there like 100 of concepts, or it's more like just different intros for 10 creatives with the same continuation, like middle part and outro? So just beginning is different, or like the whole concepts are different?
Mm-hmm. It actually depends, because of course, we are trying to come up with different ideas, different concepts, as you said. But of course, you have to make more similar versions from time to time, like to test different intros. So that's like, I would say 50-50. 50% of them should be different concepts, 50% of them are just iterations.
I can't wait anymore. I have to ask this question. So everybody knows the Hero Wars. Should I call it weirdness? It's like it's very specific style, right? that you brought.
Controversial.
Like how it was created? Who came up with the ideas? Like, is there a story behind it?
To be honest, as you've mentioned, everybody knows that Hero Wars and Nexters are famous for their creative approach, because we build different.
Yeah.
We make them catchy, we make them fascinated, we make them crazy, as you said. I've been here, I've been working in Hero Wars for 4 years only, and this kind of approach, it was there for the whole time, so I cannot tell you how it was made initially, but I know how we operated. Our ideology is not to, we are trying to create something different, create something that can stick in our audience minds for a long time. So
You're good at it.
Yeah.
yeah,
You might be best at it. Like in my world, I think like it's exactly what you said. Like it's almost like a brand in my opinion. Like the whole Hero Wars brand and like how we communicate the ads. It's like exactly what you said. Like it works on me. It stick to my head, and it's been there since like first time I saw this weird ad. That was okay. I keep saying weird. It's just like unique. Okay, let's call it unique. So it doesn't have a bad connotation, but. And this uniqueness is like, it's still there, right? So, and it's like different variations. And yeah, you show gameplay, you show that, but it's always like, I need like half of a second and I know immediately, oh, that's Hero Wars ad. And like, I don't need anything else. Like, it can be anything gameplay. It's just like, I see the character and sometimes I'm even waiting, like, what is this going to be concept about? Like, what kind of a female creature dragon is going to be there? So like watching ad, like, what's the stuff they came up with now? Yeah.
And
Also,
what
yeah,
it's the best part? Best part maybe is that the competition is not like, okay, I'm gonna copy this. So you have like this protection that the competition, for some cases, are like, okay, we probably are not doing this. So it's like good to create something like that it's working. Yeah.
But to be honest, our competitors, they copy us. Sure, every time we have a top spender, top ad, they usually copy it like 100%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So it just didn't reach me online
Yeah.
because it's
And
reaching me, it's Hero Wars.
That's because in order to copy something, you have to know what was the initial idea and how to operate with it. And if you just copy it, it wouldn't work like most of the time, most of the cases.
Yep. Was there anything like that in the like idea making or in creative process where you said like, oh, this is too much? Like, does it happen sometimes?
It happens all the time. All the time. That's one of our processes to filter out the trashy trash, the things that are too much. Of course, we're trying to come up with something interesting, with something catchy, but there are a lot of stuff that wouldn't be acceptable, and even they can be banned. And who wants this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so you said like you have a small number of 10 idea makers or screenwriters, right?
Yes, small.
That means that it's a lot about new ideas, new concepts. Is that the biggest struggle now when you try to scale such a game, like not you personally, but Nexters?
Yeah, for sure. Because when you have like a new game, freshly released game, you basically get the low-hanging fruits, right? You acquire users who are most likely will be playing your games just because you released it. And if you are operating for 5 to 10 years, it's almost impossible, because you have to come up with new strategies, new ideas. You have to test different audiences to not only your core audience, and that's the struggle.
But you are still like fighting it, right? Like it seems like you're
Yeah.
still going strong.
I mean, since Hero Wars is still growing, that means that we are doing something right.
Yeah. And other than like this concept, like what is the main KPI that you focus on?
The main KPI, I wouldn't like lie. It is actually the most basic ones, the fundamentals, because you have to stick to fundamentals. It's a CPI for sure, cost per install. So right now we mostly focus on this during our testing and in live campaigns. But I want to highlight some of our previous works. We've been testing a new metric for us. It's a cost of tutorial completion. So basically, it shows us how much the audience that we've acquired, how much does it cost if this audience completed the tutorial. And this metric correlates with the retention rate. And of course, if players stick to your game for a long time, they usually pay. So yeah, that worked for us for the past couple years. Right now, we are sticking to fundamentals.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like we hear some people checking retention, but this is like the other way of checking retention. Like you don't necessarily look day 1, 3, 7, whatever. You just check the completion rate, and yeah, it makes sense that once you get the person onboarded, they probably will stick to the game for some time.
Yeah, that's a good chance.
Yeah. So the topic of hooks, like everybody's using hooks, everybody's talking about them. Are you testing all kinds of hooks, or is there like specific hooks that you focus on for Hero Wars?
In terms of hooks, actually, we can say that the most weirdness, as you mentioned, is mostly in the hooks, right? Because when we show our gameplay, it's pretty normal. It's good. It's good. But in terms of hooks, since we are trying to grab attention, we are focusing on the male audience. And that's why we are bringing out some crazy characters. Because, of course, the main thing that can bring attention is the character. It should be feel like a mascot, right? Mm-hmm. Let's, for example, like Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil, or the twins from Atomic Heart, or Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime, right? So we are trying to come up with some crazy, interesting mascots. We are browsing the internet, different channels, our competitors, YouTube, Pinterest, ArtStation, different games for this kind of inspiration. And after we find them, we usually integrate these kind of catchy characters into our storylines with our main character, Galahad, and even in the gameplay itself.
It's very interesting. So you basically stick to the hooks that are tied to your like art style and game, so you don't go really outside of because there are so many different hooks, but I like the way that you just stick to You like bring something into your game, onto like the game's universe in like this art style.
Yeah, we actually test a lot of different things, but what I'm telling is that this is what mostly would work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and other things like, stock images or live shooting, it's not working
Mm-hmm.
neither for us nor for our competitors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty unique because you are just going with what is working for you. You created like some art style. You created some brand, as Milan was talking about. So you see the ad, it's Hero Wars, and we saw some other games that are trying like thousands of different concepts. So it's pretty unique that you are running just your one thing. You are just changing the story of it, and it's working for you. So it's very nice because when we are doing research, we see UGC, 3D, 2D, and it's something what is working for some different games. So I would say that you are relying only on your art style. It's bringing you the calm in creative production. You just need to, you can focus on idea fully and the flow. You don't need to like trying to attract different target groups. You just find what is working for you, and it's great.
Yeah, thank you. That's, as I said, we are trying to make creatives that resonate with our target audience. That's the only way.
Yeah, and it's actually, I wanted to ask because exactly like, and it makes sense, it's smart thing to do, to just like, you definitely know your target audience, right? Like, you know exactly. And
yeah,
so my question is,
sure.
have you ever tried to attract like different, like secondary or other audiences? Or you just, no?
We do that, actually. We do a lot of testing, as you've mentioned, 3D, for example, or different art styles. And it's pretty hard because even if we will be able to convert that user with the 3D, for example, into the game, they wouldn't stick to the game that long in the game. They wouldn't play that game because that would feel different, right? Because our game is completely 2D. It has its own vibes, its own pace, even because our gameplay, our ads aren't very, I'd say, fast, active, right? We are trying to show slow-paced gameplay in the ads, and that's just because we have a slow-paced gameplay in the game. So we want them to see something, to be connected to the game with that ad. Yeah. So we test a lot, but it doesn't work too often, I would say.
But it's nice that you still test and you know that it doesn't or does work. But yeah, you must know exactly, like you must have processes, like this is not a new game that's been released like last year. Like you must already know a lot about what works, what's the audience, you must have a lot of data. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. Because, since I've been in the project, we've created for around like 5,000 creatives already. Yeah. So that's a lot.
Yeah, that's insane. And I mentioned data, and it's like always the discussion, like how do UA managers or people actually running campaigns then report to creative teams? Like how do these teams communicate between each other? And I've seen there are so many ways how it should be or should not be done. What's your way? Do you even talk to the UA managers?
Yeah. To be honest, we are in the same team. So we have teams with 1 or 2 UA managers, 1 UA lead person, from 1 or 2 person from ideation, and several artists. And they work together, they brainstorm together, and they like bring new ideas, create new ideas together as a team. So they communicate on a daily basis. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and actually I love it too because that's, as far as I know, it's not too common among the game developers.
No, it's not. Like it's separated. Like the biggest mistake they can do, developers or studios, like separate the creative and UA team. These things, like they should be together. Then another level is talking to product team. Like it should be almost like in my world. And the best works that I've done, like personally, when I was scaling, was when all these 3 teams, product, creative, and UA guys, they all come together and they had brainstorming sessions. They shared the roadmap. They just talked about different angles, and then sometimes person from totally different like field comes up with the idea for your field that you had like you wouldn't even think of it because it's so outside of a box. So anyway, yeah, I think it's cool that you work this way, and it is pretty unique.
It is unique, yeah. And again, like we were having a host from Small Giant Games on our last podcast. She said something very similar. So we see this pattern in successful mobile gaming studios that there are a group of people that is working together. If it's motion artists or it's idea maker, UA manager, all of them are coming up with new ideas, with new ways how to promote the game. Yeah, this is like more of the important thing when you want to scale your game, want to have successful product on the market, is to bring everyone together, showing their ideas. Of course, there needs to be one guy or two guys that are saying, don't go this way, let's go this way, this idea, let's not try this. It depends on the budget, it depends on many different things. But this is the thing that people are talking together and are active in their positions. I'm not saying it's about proactivity, it's about being active in your position and caring about the product. If you don't have this in your team, guys who are listening, you're never going to be that successful. You need to care, and that's it, and be the part of it.
Yeah, that's some great insights.
And if you don't care, the AI will care, which brings me to another topic. Like, do you use AI? What's your thought on the AI?
You mean personally or
Professionally?
professionally? Professionally, of course, we use AI a lot. Mostly, we use AI for producing different assets or even complete static ads, static images. We use AI to generate text, to check the translations and so on. So we use it, like I would say, a lot. I didn't mention the video because, although the video generating it is becoming more viable, but right now it's not it, right? It's still hard to make a good quality video with an AI. We are testing something, I wouldn't go into the details in case our competitors are listening, but we are testing something.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come like the same with image generation. Like now you can train your own models and it's gonna look exactly like your game, right? But so you can create statics and everything really clearly, so you stick to the art style. With the videos, it's not there yet, and especially like videos might work for some cases. For your case, when you do your art style with your new concepts, it's like there is no way you can do that with video now. Like having these new ideas come to life with just keeping the art style. At least I'm not aware of that there exists a model that would be trained that it's gonna look like Hero Wars and just make cool videos without
for sure
any issues.
I mean, in terms of video, it also depends on the product itself. Of course, you are selling something like soda cans or cars. I guess you can make something, but we are talking about gaming, right? And we are talking about the gameplay. And in terms of gameplay, you have to be able to control the movement of the characters. And AI with an AI, you cannot do that.
Yeah, there are some cases where now market is like using AI, for example, for intros. It's just some random intro or some character out of the brand of the game, dancing or doing some action. But for Hero Wars, you don't need it. You don't need to go this direction because it's working for you how you are doing your stuff. It's growing, so you don't need to try these different angles because, as we said many times on the podcast, on the episode, you just know your audience well. And you don't need to do all of these like low quality because these videos are low quality and this low quality attracts attention, but you have no problem with attention and grabbing attention of the viewers. So it's no use for you so far.
Yeah, for sure. As for the hooks, I've already seen some of our competitors to generate videos, but I wouldn't say they are like the hooks. They are trying to. By the way, have you seen these kind of AI videos from survival games where they show the shelters.
Dude, yeah, we talked about it.
day
I hate
one,
them. It was one of the
they're-
first episodes we talked about. I personally really hate them. It's like so. It looks exactly like it's AI, and it's like it doesn't
Yeah,
talk
I
anything
can
to me.
tell.
It's like, why do you even run this? Like, why do you create this and run this? It's like so weird.
Yeah, for sure. But I've checked how much do they spend on that ads, and they spend a lot. So I would
It's
assume
working.
that
I
it's
don't
work-
understand this world, man.
Yeah, and I know people easily can tell that it's AI generated, but they still watch it and they still click on it and they still download the game. So as long as it works, who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
I think they found very strong emotion, very strong creative angle that's working, and it's not important that it's generated by AI. So you are looking at shelters, how they are, evolving, and this is apparently the strong emotion they are selling, and it's stronger than it looks like shit. So
Yeah.
they found something that is working. It's because I saw some competitors are trying to copy that, are also investing or testing in a lot, so budget is coming to it. But the results are not that strong because they were the first one that did it. And yeah, you see
Man,
the
it's such
results.
a boring
like,
concept, man. Like it's such a boring concept. Like there
It
is
is.
no soul to it. There's nothing. Like
but it's pretty much the same. Like we were running similar ads 7 years ago. It's noob versus pro with extra steps. So we're just comparing 2, 3, or level 1, level 30, level 50. It's this concept. It's like it's been there for years. Now they are using it with AI, and
I mean, you keep
if it's
defending them.
working,
I
it's
don't like
working.
it. I don't like it. You keep
Yeah.
defending them.
Me personally, I like this case just because it might like unlock for us something for AI video generating, right?
Yeah.
Because right now this kind of boring concept is working for someone, and who knows what would be the next case. And these kind of cases are they are the inspiration for the managers who can give budgets for AI testing, for
Mhm.
testing new concepts, because right now they believe in AI. That's
Mhm.
why
Yep.
we have more opportunities to test to make something.
I mean, I also believe in AI, but like in specific with like videos, like my vision, what I see in the future, like 2-3 years, maybe 4 or 5, is that the AI will actually be playing game itself and recording a gameplay, and they just give like the concept. You'd say like, what do you want? Showcase some strong stuff, maybe create new character in the same art style, and it's just gonna do all the stuff. The the most important element will still be the same as it is now to come up with the concept and idea, and the AI will do like everything on its own. That's what I believe we'll eventually get into.
Yeah, me too, actually. And I'm excited to see what would happen in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you actually think that the AI will replace maybe even your job in the future?
Even my job. Honestly, I cannot imagine like CEO of the company sitting in the office, like generating images all day long, right? So somebody has to do it, right? And I think artists will be still in charge of content production, right?
Mhm.
But what would be different is the way they work. So right now they have like one additional tool to in their arsenal, and that's it.
Yeah, that's healthy view. That's healthy view. But many people are scared. Like, oh, I'll lose my job. What am I gonna do?
In fact,
Yeah, you
I
need to
believe that
adapt.
AI would make even more jobs related to AI, like AI generalist, evangelist, or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Only people who are like gonna fight this new technology are gonna struggle a lot.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Because when you are using AI, you are saving on costs. You have some concepts that are working, so we make more profit with less costs, which creates new positions because you need now more people to do this kind of stuff, which is helping market. So you need to adapt with all the tech, start using it fully, understand it, and not be like in 90s, 20s in the US when there were Ford with the new car, with the concept of car. I'm sure that there were some horse owners that were furious about that because they would lose their jobs. But it's evolution, and you should adapt, or it will just, it's not a happy ending for you then.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Cool, Rau. I think that's it. Maybe Martin has something else, but I think we are done. This was amazing insights, cool stuff. Finally got a this way on the podcast to talk to a person, behind all of these weird ads that I've been seeing that we discussed even with Martin so many times that like are so intriguing. So it was amazing having you here and talk to you about like how you do that and what's the strategies. Thank you very much, Rau, for coming here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I was so excited to share something new for you, for your audience. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this was another episode of Pixel Papas. Thank you for our listeners, viewers on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast to be enjoying this episode, and see you next time.
Yeah, see you everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.